Hey guys, today we're looking at a 10 trolley unit. This is a customer's, they've actually ordered two, along with an extra set of trolleys and trays, so that'll give them 40 total. As you can see, the units are completely 304 food grade stainless steel. We can do the inside as 316 if you have like saltier products that may be more corrosive. Normally you have a PLC screen here on the side and a big control box. That's completely customizable. This customer's decided to put that at the back of the unit because that's what works best for their footprint. So we'll head back there now and take a look at that. So now we're at the back of the unit. You can see this control box is pretty massive because it's for a 10 trolley, which is one of our larger units. They have the PLC screen located next to it. As stated before, this is the customer's preference. Normally it's on the side or the front. We can also put doors at the back of the unit, so you have doors at the front and back, and it's like a pass-through or a continuous dryer, so you can continually feed new trolleys into it and then pull them out of the back as well. Taking a look inside, we have this large frequency inverter on the right-hand side. This is controlling all of the fans inside of the unit. So this can go all the way down as low as like a really small, gentle breeze, and then all the way up as like gale force winds inside of the actual drying chamber itself. All of our parts are Schneider and Simmons, so all UL certified CSA. We pretty much use the highest grade parts and electrical systems on the market as you can. This is the smart controller, so this will allow you to log into the unit remotely and access all of that log data, like the humidity percentage and the internal temperature of your product itself, and then the internal temperature of the chamber can all be accessed remotely, as well as a USB locally here as well. This is where the electrician will hook up supply, so the main three-phase supply from your premises will get connected directly into here, and then that's the main safety breaker for the entire machine itself. So as we take a look at the PLC screen here, it's got a manual control for a once-off type of drying cycle. It's got program control where you can set recipes for ongoing different types of food products that you're going to do, or any kind of material products, your graph and your alarms. So your graph is where you can see the real-time information that's happening inside. So it's got your chamber temperature, your material temperature, and your chamber humidity. So that'll be real-time. You can also export this from any kind of previous drying cycles, either locally or remotely as well. Alarms is just going to be, if there's any malfunctions, tell you what's going on there. In the manual control screen, you'll see here that you have the ability to set the time, temperature, the fan speed, so that's for the internal fan's airflow. A delay start on the exhaust system if you want to do a kill step, so you want to raise that humidity up to meet the USDA requirements, and then an ongoing to where you can either cycle the exhaust or you can have it fully on to a certain percentage. Here you'll see all of the metrics being fed back, so you can see what's going on inside of the chamber. And then for the program controls, you have up to 15 different saved recipes that you can do. Looks very similar to the manual control. You have 5 stages that you can set, so step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't need to use these, but you can if you want to do a higher temperature in the beginning of your drying cycle and then lower the temperature throughout. We see a lot of customers do that because your product can handle like a higher heat energy in the beginning, and then as that moisture leaves your product, you can bring down that temperature in order to be able to kind of keep and maintain the stability of the product and not degrade it at all. You can see here you have fan speed controls for every step as well. So maybe if you're dehydrating salt or something like that, you would want to start off at a higher fan speed and then lower it as the product dries so that you don't blow any of the product off of the trays. And then here you have those program controls, and you also have a cool down function. So cool down function is really good. That has multiple purposes. One may be that you want the chamber temperature and the trolleys and the product to be able to come down to temperature so it's safe for your employees to be able to handle. Another one is it's good to bring the product down to a temperature that's going to be similar to the ambient temperature so that you don't get any condensation if it's going straight into bagging. Another reason maybe if you're running an overnight cycle and you want to be able to leave the fans running and keep the product dry until the employees come back into work. There may be like a 3 or 4 hour gap there from when the product finishes to when they'll be coming in. So a lot of functionality, a lot of customizability on here. Quite easy to use, but you do have all of that customizability that you can work into it as well. right, so now we're here looking at the front of the unit. As you can see, you've got these big 2 double doors on the front with the seal going around the outside. So these are kind of like container style truck latches on them, so they get real tight and create a complete seal around the front. Here you'll see the ramps on the bottom that fold down for the trolleys to be able to push in, and going along the front, which we'll zoom in here in a little bit, we get actually a drain. So all of this can be sprayed out and cleaned on the inside completely, and then there's a drain on the side of the machine where all of that water can be squeegeed into. You'll see a ton of fans here on the inside. We actually have a whole fan wall per trolley, so every single trolley will get a dedicated fan wall next to it. Each one of these fans produces 1,250 CFM. As I stated earlier, they can go all the way up to gale force wind speeds, or they can go all the way down to super, super gentle breeze. So we have people that do everything from tea, leaves, to fruit, to salt, to meats, to textiles. This customer specifically is doing a liquid fertilizer. So they have very deep trays, and they're going to be using, a lot of wind speed in that because they don't have any kind of sensitivity. So it's all 304 stainless steel inside and out. You have your temperature probes in the back, as well as the probes that we can use for the material temperature and the humidity sensors as well. So this is a big unit. As I stated before, we can put doors at the back of the unit, so this can be a pass-through to where you load trolleys into the front, and then you actually pull trolleys out of the back of them as they finish up. If you look over here, you'll see the trolley for this customer specifically. As you'll see on the website, we can customize the number of layers that you actually have. So there's normally 2 trays per layer. We can do 1 really large tray if you need to, but these are normally 18 by 25 inches or 46 by 64 centimeters. And the most important thing here that we customize to your product is the spacing between the layers. So we'll get with you and figure out what kind of product you have, what the maximum height of your product is, and then we'll make sure that there's enough clearance above that, and then we'll build the trolleys and kind of reverse engineer everything back from your product itself. These are pan trays. These have been custom built for this customer. Is 2.5 millimeter stainless steel, so extraordinarily rigid and strong trays. We do have pressed pan trays that can be all different heights on the side. We have mesh trays of different style mesh, and then we can go fine mesh on top of that. We can go no lip on the outside of the tray. We can go lip on the outside of the tray. So everything that we do with the machine is really working backwards from your product. So we start with what you're doing, what your end product is, what your goals are, and then we actually build and customize the entire unit specifically around your product. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to our sales team. We have multiple industrial specialists that will get on a call with you and answer all your technical questions and give you an overview of what we can achieve for you and the timelines and everything around that. So please reach out to us, and thank you.